Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brad, and my hands is Traveling to Mars #3, written by Mark Russell, art by Roberto Meli, colorist Chiara di Francia, and lettering by Mattia Gentili. Okay, so Traveling to Mars is about the first guy who heads to Mars. He is hired by a corporation, the Easy Beef Corporation, to go get to Mars so they can go basically get mineral rights, is what it comes down to. So the guy's name's Roy, and Roy's kind of a screw-up. Like, he's not very good academically, hasn't really succeeded in life, he's not an astronaut, not a famous pilot, like, none of that. He basically got hired because he's dying. He has whatever cancer, it's going to kill him. Him being in space kind of stretches things out a bit, and the thought is, this is pretty much a one-way trip. His goal is to get there, plant the flag for the Easy Beef Corporation, and, like, that's that. The Easy Beef Corporation will pay out his mom, and I think maybe his ex-wife, a lot of money, and they'll be taken care of, but this is all about a corporation. Now, since it's written by Mark Russell, you expect this to be like a really, really solid satire, and there are satirical moments about it. It really kind of does, it has those moments, you know, poking fun at corporations and society and, you know, just kind of our capitalist society, basically. But it shockingly has a lot of heart, and I think this issue kind of emphasizes that. This is a hard issue to read in a good way. This is a one-way trip for Roy. He is on the ship by himself. He's accompanied by two robots who are programmed to try to, one, either just take care of the ship and get it running, but also kind of keep give him some companionship, someone to talk to. But the robots, they don't know these things. So this issue really is just kind of a reflection on kind of Roy's life a little bit up to this point, mostly his relationship with his ex-wife, and checking in with two, I guess, psychologists, shrinks, whatever, to see how he's doing. Of course, they are for the corporation, so a lot of the stuff they say is really jacked up, but there's a lot of really interesting discussions about legacy and immortality and like what we leave in life. And Russell makes some amazing observations, and I think that's the strength of Russell's writing. Like, though I mostly know him for his satirical writing and his comedy, all that is still built on observations about life and really pointing things out. And there's a couple things that are said here that I think are really interesting. One of just like the fact of like what our concept of immortality is, and how few, if any, people are immortal in any sense, and you know what it would take to actually be immortal. And the reality is like even in death we might survive for a few thousand years. Like this. As Russell really intelligently points out, is like, though humanity has been around for tens of thousands of years, we really only know few people, hundreds of years ago, let alone thousands of years ago. This is not a society that you really kind of go on and on and on, your story shared on and on. I mean, you name people who are in, like, we're talking like the length of Jesus length type of thing. It's like, there's not really many people that we know a lot about their lives, or why they're famous, or why they're important, what they did, any of that. So, immortality is an interesting concept, as Russell points out. And, while Roy, when he gets to Mars, will be the most famous person in human history, it will be for a moment. At some point, that will go away. So the question is how does he reach immortality? Like, is it possible to do that? And with that, as he looks towards the future, he also kind of reflects on the past. And it's a really kind of touching issue. I mean, this is one where like there's some moments there, man. Really, some moments. This is amazing work. It really is fantastic work, and the art, I think, nails this down. The two shrinks he talks to, their body language and their facial expressions are just so good. There's interesting, I think, subtle aspects to it. This is actually the really interesting discussion that got me thinking of, like, who do we really know that's immortal and has survived thousands and thousands of years? I think the art just does a fantastic job of doing that comedy, doing the the quieter moments, and there's a whole thing about Roy laughing and watching comedies because that's kind of a healthy thing to do, and the robots with him aren't programmed to understand laughter. They don't. This is something they don't understand at all. There's no concept of this to them. So like watching the robots, watching him, how the robots interact, their body, like all of that, like just, it's such subtle detail, but so solid to pick up on what they're experiencing, what all three of them that are experiencing together. This is a fantastic series. This is absolutely amazing. There's humor to it, but the reality is there's so much heart to it. There's such an amazing reflection and an amazing exploration of this guy who is doomed at this point. As far as we know, he's doomed. So, like, to me, this is a hell of a comic series. Highly recommend it. Think it's fantastic. Go check it out. Out in comic shops. You can go get it. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. It'll tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage by doing that. You support our site, so thank you. And just watching our video support us, so thank you for that. If you're into comics, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, and Mastodon, all at Graphic Policy. Keeping it consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.